start recording. It's going to ask you on your end. All right, just I am a Cogno movement practitioner, and I started doing Cogno movement. Those weird synchronistic type of things that happen in your life. I was hiking, and I ran across this YouTube video. And I don't know, I can hear a noise somewhere. If you guys can mute yourselves, that would be really helpful. Okay, so I ran across a video, and it's Liz Larson and Bill McKenna, who are the creators of it, and it just basically walks you through thinking through an issue, and it could be a physical issue or a mental issue, while you are doing different things with your eyes. And a lot of people have said it's very like EMDR, I guess, similar but not. So I have found it to be incredibly helpful with my not just with physical things, but mostly with me. I started with emotional things. Um, I will share that screen again. It's the last Friday. Someone just asked when the next thing was. It was the last Friday of every month. Okay. So anyway, so I started doing it, and I have had issues with like very intense emotions my whole life. Like I'll have really high highs and then like really low lows, and I get very intense, and it just got to be really impossible in my with me, just dealing with that and dealing with that with in relationships and with friendships, and it made me a lot more neutral. Like I can actually step away from a situation and be able to address it in a way that's coming from a place of neutrality. And it also works on with like body discomfort. I don't know if a lot of you know, but I used to do a lot of endurance walking and endurance running, and I went to this race in Florida, and I was not prepared. And it was supposed to be a 12-hour race, and I got up that morning and I couldn't walk. Like I literally couldn't walk. Like my body was just like, we're not doing this. And so I did a session, and a lot of things come out when you do a session. And it came out that, oh, my body was angry. It was angry at me that I wasn't going to, that I haven't been like listening to it. It was like a really interesting revelation that there was such a disconnect. Like I was completely numbing my body. And so I had like this conversation with my body. And after the session, I was completely fine. And I ended up finishing the race. And so physically, it helps. And it also helps with emotional stuff. So today, we're going to work with something very specific. And you might notice differences. I'm going to turn off my heat because I'm going crazy here. You might notice differences in your emotions, but you might also notice differences in other things. Like, and you will start noticing how everything that you do and everything in your life, everything from your pets to your house to your car, is actually connected. Because once I started doing it, so many other things started falling into place, things that I wasn't actually just working on. So today, we're working on this one thing, which is like stress, and I call it, I cast this burden, casting a burden, and figure out what to do with this burden that we carry. And all of us carry something. Um, and even on my best days, it's so funny how our physiology or our minds work. Even on my best days, when there's no pain in my body and I'm totally fine and I have, love everywhere, I still like my mind still wants to go to the negative. So we all carry something, and it's good to just sort of work on that. So I cast my burden is sort of the main topic for today, but please know that after today, if you notice any like more energy, if you notice improved relationships with people around you or with yourself, or just less triggered by things that typically do trigger you, that is cogno movement in action. So, okay, so don't worry, I'm gonna walk you through so I'm holding this ball, and this is what we use for the sessions. I do sessions online and I do sessions in person. And when I do them in a group, I do have everyone mute themselves. And so I'm working through the same issue, and I'm hoping that you're in a space where you can speak openly, because I'm going to be asking you to talk about stuff. and that you can speak openly without feeling censored. So if there's somebody in your space, maybe move somewhere where no one can hear you, maybe put on like some kind of noise so that if you're living in a close quarters with someone, then you don't feel like you have to censor. Okay, so we're going to start, and the way that you start is you have to have a lightweight item. And when I did not have a Cogno ball, I used this little cute figurine my daughter made. And it has just to be lightweight, and you have to, lightweight because we're going to be moving it around our face a lot. And, if it's heavy, your arms are going to hurt after a while. Also, if you're wearing glasses, you're going to be taking off the glasses. I'm going to keep them on because I'm not really doing a session. I'm demonstrating the session, but I'm not doing a session for myself at the moment. And I'm also reading my notes. So I have notes. All right. So you have your object, and we're going to start with just connecting with our body and finding what is burdening us at the moment. So you're going to be holding your object with two hands, and you're going to be holding it down between your legs. We call it the low position, which is sort of like a little bit between your belly button and your hips area. Low, just low. And your head's going to be straight, and your eyes are going to be cast downwards. They're not going to be closed. They're going to be open. So when you look downwards, you immediately sort of connect with your body. So we're going to look downwards, and I want you to just think of something that you'd like to work on today that's been on your mind. And this is why it helps to speak about it. So if you're by yourself, or if you're somewhere, you can just out loud talk about it, bring it forth. If you're with someone, just in your mind, bring it forth, and you'll feel a small change in your body, like reacting. So part of your body might twitch. You might feel like, how when you think of something that happened that was horrible in the past, and you immediately feel like a tension in part of your body. So this might not be a horrible thing, but see if you can sense where or what part of your body sort of tenses or reacts to that thought of whatever it is that's burdening you at the moment. All right, just sense it, just be there right now. And let's give it a number. And I want you to think of 0 being like you're at the beach, not a care in the world, everything is perfect. And 10 is sleepless nights, unable to relax, just can't stop thinking about this issue. So give it a number. And my goal today is reducing that number or making it go away. So any one of those things would be wonderful. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to move the object from left to right, and like really slowly. Your glasses are going to be off, and keep your hands on the ball or on the object. I'm going to keep saying ball, I'm sorry. Keep your hands on the object. There we go. And you're going to be following it. Start at the low position, following with your eyes. Nothing else is moving but the ball and your eyes. And you're near your belly button, and you're going to follow the ball nice and slow, or the object, sorry, there we go. And go up a little bit more. Take a deep breath. And if your object is colorful, just every time you go to one side, try to notice a color and call it out. Notice a color like this: red, purple, yellow. If it's not, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Just keep your eye on the object. Take another deep breath. Now you're at your nose level. Some practitioners like to talk about the chakras. You're at this chakra level, but some people don't do chakras. So we're going to just keep your body. Forehead level. Take a deep breath. Above your head. Keep your eye on the object, both hands the whole time. Bring the object down. All right. So that was just a warm up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to be doing an infinity in front of our faces. I'm sorry, I have this object here. I'm going to move. There we go. We're going to be doing an infinity in front of our face. And in case you don't know what an infinity looks like, it's a number 8 that's laying down. So you're going to be moving the ball in the path of an infinity, and this time it doesn't matter what hand is holding it. My arms are very short, so I have to switch. The most important thing is your head is facing forward and your eyes are following the object. And if the object has a point of focus, like I'm focusing, let's say, on the blue thing, if you had an object like this, you might want to say, I'm going to focus on this little belly part. So just find a place to focus, whatever that may be in your object. And it's really important that we move the ball real slow in this infinity. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you narrate what is the issue at the moment that you would like to be addressed. Now, let me give you a couple of tips when you're doing this. You're going to just tell the story of this burden, and anything and everything that comes up is okay. So we're just going to just allow, expand, and be super, super accepting of anything that comes up. And in the sense that we're curious, we're going to just be curious about what comes up. And if we're done telling the story, just continue doing the infinity and seeing what else comes up. Oftentimes other things come up and they might be related to the original issue or they might not. Either way, we're still just voicing it. Okay. And don't worry if you are, in the presence of other people and you can't talk right now, that's okay too. I'm recording this, so you can do this later, but also it still does the work. So just follow the ball. And I would say it's about, hands distance. And you're really trying to get a little bit of a stretch in your eyes. Our eyes are not used to looking in these parts over here. And what's happening before we start, what's happening is that we are allowing the brain to take a look at this issue. We're allowing not just a part of your brain, your entire brain to take a look at this issue. So we're in essence activating the entire brain to take a look at this issue. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to tell the story out loud. And I'm actually going to give you silence so that you can really focus on your story. And so if you get lost at any point, just look at what I'm doing and you're just going to continue. And one last thing, if you notice your eyes are having a hard time sticking with a place, I want you to stay there a little longer. So for me, it's always here. My eye either twitches or sees double when it's even super close. So here is an area I'm going to stay in a little longer and take some deep breaths. All right. All right. So we're going to get 2 minutes of narrating what this burden is. Okay. Anybody have any questions before we get started? Speak now. Okay. Okay, great. All right. Hey Siri, give me 2 minutes. All right, let's go. Okay. Timer's up. Take a break. All right. Um, so, well, welcome to at any point. If you have any questions, please do unmute. So what I always notice when I do this part is that I have a story, and it really the figure eight has a very calming effect. So more comes out than my original sort of stamp story that I had. So the more I do it, the more that comes out. So when we this is a mini session that we're doing. I know we're here for an hour, but most sessions are about an hour and a half. And you when you're doing it, it does relax you and a lot more comes out. And it does remind me of a lot of these other modalities that allow sort of your conscious brain to sort of relax. So then um, another part of your brain starts telling you more and you see more parts to the story that you might have not seen before. So if you have any other comments on that, yes, Isabella?
So I'm curious because this is my first time doing it and I was slightly distracted at the very beginning. Um, is it common that while you're like thinking about the story, you're actually also very focused on the physicality of the exercise?
Yeah, it does feel like, one of those things where you have to like scratch your nose and do something else and do your head. It does feel like at the beginning, kind of like riding a bike where you're thinking
Right.
about it, but it does get easier. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
This
for me, what I was finding is that um, when I started with the infinity symbol,
hmm
because it's kind of long and skinny,
hmm
that when when my eyes were going to the side, they weren't really moving too much.
mm,
So then I was like, I should they be moving more? I don't know. So let me make my figure eight like fat, right? Like so you know what I mean, right?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, and then my eyes started kind of like going more up and more down.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I had a feeling like I'm working them a little bit more. So I don't
hmm
know, like it seemed like a lot of my focus just kind of went to to that physicality instead of, contemplating the situation.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It does get easier, and like any movement that you're making that's allowing your eyes to experience a new location. Like you're saying, you're not used to looking this way. What's happening when you're doing that is you're actually, there's, where your eyes look. You know how when you talk to somebody and they're remembering a story, the story actually lives
Yes,
somewhere in their brain. Like, and so
right.
they look for it somewhere. So what you're doing is, in essence, like you're allowing those parts of your brain that we're not participating in the decision making or we're not participating in the solution making are now involved. So so any effort to involve those other parts of your brain are going to render a different perspective. So you might find after the session you might have a different understanding of the issue. So a lot of times that's one of the things that happens is either the issue resolves itself completely or you'll have a different understanding or um some weird quantum thing happens where let's say the issue is a person, the other person like all of a sudden the relationship that was operating on this certain way of being with you because you changed, now the relationship changed, so all of a sudden the issue's no longer there. Like it's a really strange. I almost think of it like magic because I've done it where I've had issues with family members or friends, and I walk away and the actual relationship has shifted, not just me, but the other person.
Right.
It's like a weird quantum thing that happens when you
Yeah,
do
no,
it.
you know what? I totally get that.
hmm
Um, and it's very interesting because as you were talking now, I've noticed that my like my anxiety about the issue has decreased,
Hmm.
even
Yeah.
though I feel like I haven't really um like I haven't given so much of the energy and effort to the story and the issue
Hmm.
because I was focusing on the physical so much because the eyes were, you know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
know if they were distracting me or whatever, but I
Huh.
really feel like, yeah, the anxiety about the issue has decreased somewhat. So that's
And
very interesting.
that's so cool. I mean, we haven't even started, so that's kind of cool. So, yeah, so just keep on that. We're gonna continue. I'm gonna do something different now. So now, I want you to what I usually I heard this phrase the other day, and a lot of the things that I do are inspired by things that I'm reading right now, or so I love Florence Scovel Shen, and she's got, I mean, I pretty much devour her stuff, and then I also listen to her. They read her books on YouTube, so I'm constantly listening to her. And I heard, I cast this burden on the Christ within and go free. And if you're not comfortable with the Christ within, you can use higher self or spirit or all the divine forces of the universe. And higher self, spirit, and all the divine forces of the universe are, they come from Choquette, Sonia Choquette, thanks to Risa. We all kind of inspire each other. Or universe, God, creator. So I want you to pick one of these things. Okay? So I'm just going to keep saying, I cast this burden. And I want you to, when I'm saying that, there's two things going to be happening. I want you to feel yourself expanding, like um, not your physicality, but your energy, your just yourself expanding into your room, and in the sense that you're allowing the burden to just be. And I cast this burden, you're kind of handing it over. There's sort of this surrender. Um, And I also want you to notice if there's any resistance that comes up. Resistance or yeah, but that those kinds of feelings. If any of those feelings come up, we are going to just also embrace them. So we're also embrace, and by embracing them, I mean we're going to speak them. And if you and I were doing, or if you guys and I were doing a solo, I would be repeating these words back because it's so important that you voice what's in here and that you hear it. So if we were doing a one-on-one session, I would be repeating back what you're saying so that you can hear it. So it's so important that you voice even the resistance that comes up. Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah. So, so I'm just going to keep saying, I cast this burden, and you choose who you want to cast it to. Thank you, Isabella. Who you choose who you want to cast it to. I love the Christ within. I love the higher self because I think a lot of us have had conversations about this, that sometimes a lot of us believe that our guides are our higher selves. I believe that one of my guides is my higher self. So whatever you believe, um, choose one. It could be God, creator, universe. Choose one right now, and that's where we're going to cast our burdens onto, and just see what that feels like. And if you are having a hard time with, like, like casting your burden onto something, someone, you might want to consider thinking about, um, everything supports me. I think I have a quote in here. Oh, here, the universe supports me completely. So think about supporting, like what supports you. Like I'm sitting in a chair, it supports me. I've had to do this type of meditation recently because my car got into a crash while I was not in it. And I mean, everything just melted, like I was just melting. And then I realized, oh my goodness, like there's so many people support me. I have insurance. The insurance is supporting me. All these people came and checked on me, and everyone's like checking on my mental well-being, and all these people are supporting me. So like sometimes we just need to think about what's supporting us. So if the casting the burden piece doesn't work for you, um, maybe thinking about listing all the things that support you, you know, just to kind of flip that script a little bit. So I'm going to say both of them. Um, and this one I'm kind of narrating. So when I say something, I want you to try it on, meaning that I want you to listen to what I just said and try it on. And whatever comes up, you're going to voice. So if I say, I cast this burden, and then your mind says, oh, that's never going to happen. I want you to say that, right? Or if I say, the universe supports me, and you feel like, okay, yeah, my mom supports me, or my daughter supports me, my husband supports me, or my pet supports me, or even if you say nothing, I don't feel supported, that's okay. So I want you to just say it. Got it? Okay, I think I've hammered that enough. I'm gonna get started. This time we're not doing a figure eight. We're just gonna do a circle, and about halfway I'm gonna tell you to go the other way. And if you notice your eyes are having a difficult time following the ball in a specific area, please do spend more time there, because there's a reason why there's stiffness in that area, and you can work it away, and it will make a difference in the issue that we're dealing with. All right, let's get started. All right. All right, I cast this burden. I cast this burden on the Christ within, or I cast this burden to my higher self. What would my higher self do with this burden? Breathe. Follow the object. I cast this burden to spirit. Let spirit have it. Breathe. I cast this burden to all the forces of the universe. Feel the surrender. You are supported. And I go free. What does that feel like? What does that feel like, being free of this burden? Try it on. What does it feel like? And I go free. What does it feel like to be free of this burden? Tell me more. Okay. The universe supports me. If that's way too big, the chair you're sitting on supports you. Feel your body in the chair. Breathe. What else supports you? What else holds you dear? Look around. Remember to stay in an area that's giving you trouble. Breathe. Excellent. The universe supports me completely. The universe supports me completely. What else supports you? Make a list. Make it silly even. What else? Think tiny. I heard a story the other day about showers and how people in a certain, like several decades ago, did not have hot showers. The hot shower supports you. What else? Right? I'm going to take a tiny break, take a deep breath. All right. We're going to do a check-in. A check-in is just, you're going to hold your ball or your object again at the low position. You're going to keep your eyes open and cast them downwards and bring up again your issue, your original issue. Talk about it and feel where it rises in your body. And if you lose it, talk about it again. Feel where it rises. And what's the number there? What's the intensity level? 10 is you can't sleep at night. And 1 is not a care in the world. Tell the story. Just a little bit of the story. Let it come forth. Try it on. All right. Excellent. Now we're going to force some yawns. You're going to face one direction. You're going to force a nice big yawn by opening your mouth real wide. You're going to do the same for the other side. All right. Now, before I ask you how things are going, I'm going to time us for about 2 minutes to do a figure 8 walk. So I'm going to give you a little guidance before you go. It's going to be 2 minutes long. It doesn't matter how long, or I love Isabella's word, fat your figure 8 is. It doesn't matter. What I do want you to notice is I want you to start with your eyes facing down, and then, a couple of figure 8s into it. You're going to look straight across and try to find things in the room that you might have not noticed before. Even if it's familiar to you, you will notice new things. And then you're going to cast your eyes upwards as you're doing the last couple of figure 8s. All right? Don't worry, I'm going to guide you through the whole thing, but it's about 2 minutes long. And I'm going to try to do it here so you guys can see me. My room is really tiny. All right, so there we go. So you are walking a figure 8. Just feel your feet in your shoes. Feel your toes. Feel the ground. Just notice your feet. Be in your feet right now. Now you're going to cast your eyes to your shoulder level and just look around the room. Notice something you might have not noticed before. Notice the quality of light against the walls. And the last couple of figure 8s, you're going to keep your head straight, but cast your eyes upwards as you're walking. Look at the ceiling. Look at the lights. Notice something you might have not noticed before. Like a little spider, maybe. All right. Now you may sit down. All right. Before we go on, I wanted to see if anybody noticed anything or any changes during their check-in. It's okay if you didn't, because it always works in different ways. So, anybody? Everyone's being so shy. Okay. Okay. What we're going to do now is I want to talk about abundance. Let's see. There is this there's this recipe that I found. You guys know, familiar with Goddard? Yes, no. So he has this thing about non-resistance, and non-resistance plus faith is manifestation. So what we just did with allowing our resistance to be spoken about and all that is non-resistance. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the last part of our session where we're going to retell the story again. And I know it's interesting because when you retell the story, it might feel a little bit different. So that same exact story, don't switch issues on me because you're like, oh, I've already dealt with that one. We're going to put on a new issue. Stick with this issue because we're trying to bring it to zero. So we're going to tell the story out loud one more time of this burden that we are trying to work on. And if you came in originally with not a very strong thing that's burdening you, that's okay too. You can do a session about nothing and it will still bring up something. So when I was in the training for it, we were all told to just do the ball, because in the mornings when I do the sessions, I just do the ball and something comes up. So if you feel like your issue is sort of resolved, or you're like, oh, that wasn't really that anything anymore, that's probably cogno, and you're welcome to try doing this with a no issue and see what comes up. Okay, so what I mean is you're gonna just do the figure 8 real slow and see what comes up. And this is where you might want to have a paper and pen near you, because I'm going to give you about 4 minutes to just do the session and see where it goes. I really want you to be really free about what comes up. And lots of connections are made during this time. And a lot of times when we get revelations during a cogno session, we forget about it later. It's kind of like a dream. So that's why I want you to have your pen and paper in case things come up. So my prompt to you is going to be, okay, what's here? And what's here? And what's here? So I really want you to just, okay, what's coming up here? And if you're feeling more of an emotion, then speak that. But if you're feeling more of a sensation in your body, also speak about it. Like if you're saying, oh, my left toe is itchy, speak about it as well. All right, I'm curious to see. So the people that feel like their issue is resolved, they can do that. Or if they want to, you can also, if you're not resolved with your issue, please do tell your story again. I promise there'll be movement with that. Okay? All right, so we're going to just start with, I'm actually going to take my glasses off. It's really hard to follow it with my glasses on. All right. So this time we're doing the figure 8. And if you remember which direction you went, you might want to do it the other way. And if you don't, it's not a big deal. Okay? All right, ready? So, hey Siri, set a timer for 4 minutes. All right. So tell your story one more time of what is the issue at the moment, or whatever is coming up right now. And do it even slower than before. Stretch those eyes. What's here? What else? What are you feeling right now? Remember, we're just curious about it, so all feelings are okay. What's here? If there's discomfort in your forehead while you're doing this, stay there a little longer and breathe through it. What else? What else? Switch directions. What's there? Tell me more. Where do you feel that? Nice and slow. Take a deep breath. What else? Nice stretch. Stretch those eyes. Breathe. Follow the object. What's there? What else? Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath, making the exhale audible. All right. Take a break. All right. Do some yawns again on the left. And on the other side. All right. So that was a mini session. And I wanted to, for the people that haven't done Cogno before, give you a little bit of a aftercare. One, you're going to have amazing sleep. Really, really vivid dreams. And please, if you normally hydrate a lot, please hydrate even more. And especially maybe put some sea salt or Himalayan salt in your water. It helps with the brain connections. And you might feel like you haven't done a lot today, but your brain did a lot today. So definitely drink a lot of water. And so expect to see changes in the issue that you addressed, but also in other things. So the other things that you might look for are, like I said, less triggerability, better relationships with others and yourself, lots more energy. Yeah, so, oh, it says called Cogno Movement. Yeah. So, and I will put my information in the chat in just a second if anybody has any questions. I do about a 10-minute session every day at work before I start work. And it really helps to, I notice when I'm not doing it. And I do think that it has improved my relationship with myself, but also in my marriage and my friendships and my work, and just like my general well-being. So that that is our session. So I left a few minutes for us to be able to chat if you guys had any questions. Oh, cool. That's cool. You know what? Your nervous system might be really sensitive, Clara. So you might want to, when you get the recording, you might just want to do a little bit of it and then do the next part like the next day. Usually, yeah, that if if you sleep a lot tomorrow when you do cognitive movement, or if you have a practitioner that works with you, you might want to let them know that because you might want to have smaller sessions. Um, yeah, so very cool. So I feel like a butterfly. What is this? Okay, I'm gonna put the next information on here. Sorry, give me one sec. Let me pull it up. The two dates are here. Um, I do record these, so I do put them in my channel. Stop. Hold on. That's the next dates, and then this is my website. It has all the information about Cogno, and trying to think what else maybe for aftercare. Oh, I did forget one thing. So, for us to finish, we have to do. There's this thing called map-in, and map-in is our brains are separated by left and right, but then there's the middle, the corpus callosum, I think it's called, and that um, is like a barrier. And when we do things going left to right, we're basically sharing the information from one side of the brain to the other. So what we're gonna do, um, oh, okay, I'm sorry, Risa. I will make sure. Thank you. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I will fix that. Let me just check on that. Thank you for letting me know. Now I will. You guys are all on my mailing list. Also, the people, Julie, if you want to send me your information through Risa, then I can add you on my mailing list, and that way you get the new date. So what we're gonna do is, I am gonna have you guys do this in 4 directions, and this is sort of the quantum part that I really enjoy. Let me just pull up my script for that um, before we leave. And we're going to do this in 4 directions. So I'm going to say it once and then I'm going to repeat it to you. And you guys are just, this is from Glennis McCants. She does a lot of numerology stuff. She's got a ton of books on numerology, and I love her numerology stuff. So, and I have this in front of my bed, and I say this. It's, I now command the frequencies of joy, love, peace, instantaneous healing, and infinite abundance to flow to me and through me at all times throughout this day. So we're going to do that in all 4 directions. So I'm going to say it, and you are going to basically hold the ball with 2 hands and say that whole phrase going from bottom to top, 1 direction, bottom to top, second direction, bottom to top, third and fourth. So like all 4 corners. And I'm gonna say it, so you don't have to actually memorize these. So I'm just gonna say, I now command the frequencies of, and then you're going to say those words. And then as you're following the ball. The important thing is to keep your hands on the object at all times and to just follow it with your eyes. And you're always starting from the bottom, going to the top. So never go from up to down, go from down to up, okay? So we're going to start with the 1 direction. Ready? So you're just going to say these as you go left to right. If anybody has any questions, say it now so I can answer. Oh. Okay. So, okay. I'm going to do the first one with you, and then the next 3 ones I'm going to have to just keep looking at my script. But, okay, ready? I now command the frequencies of joy, love, and peace, instantaneous healing, and infinite abundance to flow to me and through me at all times throughout this day. Remember to keep your eyes on the ball. Now you're going to turn a different direction. I now command the frequencies of joy, love, peace, instantaneous healing, and infinite abundance to flow to me and through me at all times throughout this day. And you're going to turn a third direction and really feel these words as you're repeating after me. Really feel it in your body. I now command the frequencies of joy, love, peace, instantaneous healing, and infinite abundance to flow to me and through me at all times throughout this day. And the last one, and let's make this one count. Take a deep breath. I now command the frequencies of joy, love, peace, instantaneous healing, and infinite abundance to flow to me and through me at all times throughout this day. Excellent. That was beautiful. So that made sure that anything that your left side learned, the right side also learned. And we also said the beautiful words of Glennis McKent's. Yes, I know, me too. I just love her numerology stuff so much. So, well, thank you guys. I'm gonna actually let me just quickly grab the. Hold on a second. I'll tell you the correct date right now because I just realized that it's on my page. Doo-doo-doo. Give me a second. I'm trying to honor your time here as well. There we go. Okay, so this is my events page, and it's the 4th Friday of every month. And I say 7 here, but I'm doing a book club at 8. So for the next couple of months, I think it's 6:30. So it's the 4th Friday. So you guys are amazing. So Julie, just let Risa know your information, and I will add you to my mailing list. And I'm